Hello everyone. The book that I brought you today is Cherry Red and Cherry Black. This is a very recent book written by a doctor, a medical doctor by the name Kavery Nambisan. Okay, there is a question that lies for a long time. Tea is better or coffee is better? The dialogue goes on, the debate goes on, and no right answer, and nobody can give the right answer. But this particular book, Cherry Red, Cherry Black, is about the coffee, introduction of coffee, the growth of coffee in India, how this particular crop, this commercial crop, got into India, and how people cultivated this particular crop. That is what the whole book is about. And of course, the book speaks about how this coffee is cultivated by Tata plantation and some labor issues and so on. Well, coffee doesn't belong to India, first of all. This particular crop, commercial crop, was introduced 400 years before. Rather, this particular coffee bean, interestingly, was smuggled by an Indian into Karnataka. The story goes back about 400 years before. There is a pilgrimage going person by the name Baba Budan. This gentleman went to Mecca. While going on the ship, he was served a wonderful drink with a fruit, a local fruit. After drinking this particular decoction or a concentrate, this Baba Budan found it extremely energizing. So he smuggled the coffee beans into India, and then the beginning of coffee crop started in India. And later, how this particular crop was popularized in India, and how this crop of Indian coffee was marketed, I think thanks to British government. When British government came into India, they identified the money crop potential, the commercial potential of this particular crop, and then they started marketing coffee outside India. Now let's see, in India there are so many states. What are the states they produce this coffee bean? Karnataka is a leading state that produce more than 70% of coffee, followed by Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh and few places in India. And this crop has got two major varieties, but let us not go into the technical details. This particular industry, this coffee industry and making of coffee and the differences. Coffee is a drink, I think, the coffee lovers would appreciate that it is a drink required in the morning. It gives you a lot of energy. And even in the night, if you, wish to wake up, coffee is a drink that is liked by so many people. And interestingly, the coffee cultivation demands large amount of labors. So this labor in India being cheap, people can produce coffee in large quantities. But again, companies like Tata's can produce a large amount of coffee because it has got a lot of issues. Coffee has got a climatic issue, and you need a large space, vast land to cultivate coffee. And coffee is also prone to certain diseases. So you have to carefully cultivate this particular commercial crop. This coffee cultivation, as I said, it's going on in India for more than 400 plus years. And if you don't know the science of managing people or the science of diffusing, or rather, reducing or taking precaution to avoid diseases, I think this crop can, lead you to losses. So this book is a well-written book. What I liked here, this is quite a balanced book, and as I said in the beginning, I think the debate of coffee and tea is going on, and nobody has got an answer, and nobody can give an answer. Tea lovers continue to love tea, and coffee lovers shall continue to love coffee. But interestingly, what I found in this particular book, where does this coffee is being consumed, where this coffee is being consumed more in number, interestingly in developed countries of Europe and America and other countries. But where it is grown, interestingly, the coffee is grown in places like Africa, Philippines, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka to some extent. So all these developing countries produce coffee, and that has been they all been widely consumed at a developed nation. So that is something interesting I found. Now, after Tata has taken over this coffee plantation largely in India, what they are doing is they also introduce another commercial crops like pepper and avocado to offset the risk of coffee growing. So here in this book, you will find mention of, as I said, Tata acquisition of Tata's plantation, and then the labor issues, the government initiatives, and the growing interest among Indians of coffee consumption. If you see in India, most of the coffee lovers, they belong to South India, and in North it is found that people consume tea in large numbers. So this book definitely gives you an account of how coffee came to India and how this has been produced and how India becomes a popular country for coffee and so on. It's a very good book. As I said, Kavery Nambisan, this lady is a medical doctor. She lived in South India, therefore she was exposed to this coffee cultivation and coffee drinking. She herself is a coffee lover. So this is a very recent book. If you want to know about this particular crop, I would rather encourage you to buy this book. If you haven't subscribed this channel, please subscribe this channel and mention on the comment section what do you think about this review. Thank you so much.